Good morning. Welcome to day 7 of 8th grade speeches. We have 5 ladies and gentlemen up here who have been practicing, writing, researching for the past 3 months, and they are excited to share their speech with you. Juliana Lawrence will open us this morning with prayer, and we will get started.
Hello, welcome to 8th grade speeches. We have so many exciting speeches today. Before we start, let's all bow our heads in prayer. Dear this fantastic day. Thank you for the chance to be here and to listen to these students share about their passions and favorite things. Thank you for our family and friends watching us, and please give these students the courage to speak in front of everyone today. And please help with the jitters and butterflies to go away. In your precious name, amen. Up first is Rollin Sheffield, who is speaking on rule changes in the NBA.
There's nothing like the feeling of sinking a three-point shot during a game of basketball. This feeling has made me love playing and watching basketball. Basketball is a fast-moving and exciting sport. Over the years, the National Basketball Association, or the NBA, has changed the way the game is played because of two impactful rule changes. These rule changes have made the game more fair, safer for players, and more exciting for fans. Perhaps the rule change that has most affected today's game is the introduction of the three-point line in 1979. It completely changed the way the game is played. They played basketball for a long time without the three-point line. The NBA considered it gimmicky for years, but these days, the three-pointer is second nature to basketball players and fans. It's a safe bet that nobody under the age of 30 has any recollection of college or professional basketball being played without a three-point line. Once the three-point line became a reality, a generation of coaches had to rethink everything they knew about the game, and it made things hectic. Fans loved it because games became more exciting and high-scoring, but it took a while for players and coaches to adjust. Coaches had to rethink strategy, and players had to add new shots to their arsenal. Michael Jordan is a perfect example of players having to adjust. He played college basketball at North Carolina without a three-point line. In his rookie season with the Chicago Bulls, he was 9 for 52 from three-point range. He never shot better than 20% from long range until his fifth season in the NBA. But by this time, his remarkable tenure with the Bulls wrapped up. He was consistently shooting better than 35% from three-point range. The three-point line also led to other rule changes in the NBA. Since players jump when they shoot, defensive players learned they could put their foot under the shooter's landing area in order to disrupt their shot. This became a huge safety hazard that led to many ankle injuries. Offensive players also caught some rule changes. When Reggie Miller shot the ball, he was known to kick his leg out to draw a foul and gain space for the defense. This was unfair and also a safety hazard for other players. When he took a shot, he was risking his body for a foul, and they could have hurt his leg when somebody ran into it, or Reggie could have fallen and then hurt himself. The three-pointer has also increased the scoring of NBA players. One of the biggest honors in the NBA is to hold the scoring record. Just this season, LeBron James passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as its all-time scoring record. On February 7th, 2023, James passed Jabbar by scoring 38,388 points. Fans were wild as the shot went in, and it made headline news all over the world. Without the three-point shot, it would have taken James far longer to break that record. Goaltending is when a defensive player blocks a shot on the way down or interferes with the rim or net in order to keep the ball from going into the goal. NBA officials thought this was unfair to offensive players, so they made a rule for it. They introduced this rule in 1956. A player named George Mikan was instrumental in the enacting of the goaltending rule. Mikan was 6 foot 10 inches tall, and he could jump very high to stop the ball from going into the goal. When Mikan would do this, it gave his team an unfair advantage. The goaltending rule states that players must wait for the ball instead of jumping up and taking the ball out of the air. Goaltending was a safety hazard for any player that would do it. A player could be under you and make you fall backwards. When somebody falls backwards, they can be injured or could injure another player. The NBA realized this and banned goaltending. Another aspect of the goaltending rule is when a goaltending call is made, the shooting team is awarded the points for the field goal as if they made the basket. This rule also makes rebounding more important. In conclusion, many rules have helped form the NBA to make the game what it is today. These rules have changed the game for the offense and the defense. They've made the game more fair, safe, and exciting. I don't think the game would be as exciting as it is today without the rule changes that it's had along the way. Thank you. Please welcome Ellie Persons, who is speaking on the psychology of serial killers.
Have you ever thought about what goes on inside the mind of a serial killer? Many people enjoy watching crime shows so they can try to figure out who committed the crime, and most importantly, why they committed the crime. I love watching crime shows, so that's why I chose this as my topic. Through my research, I discovered that most violent criminals share similar characteristics, and many suffered some type of trauma in their younger life. Some common traits that repeatedly show up when examining convicted killers are cruelty to animals, the want or need to start fires, and they age rapidly. Serial killers also tend to be antisocial, have a lack of empathy, and don't care about abiding by social norms. Many also have a desire to exact revenge upon others. In addition, being a white male, being between 20 to 40 years old, having a high IQ, and having a criminal past are also common traits shared by serial killers. A serial killer is a person who commits a series of murders, often with no apparent motive and typically follow a predictable behavior pattern. There are two types of serial killers, regimented and unorganized. Regimented serial killers plan their murders, usually by abducting their victim, killing them, and then disposing them afterwards. They pretend to be social to lure people in order to manipulate them to get what they want. Regimented serial killers typically have higher IQ than unorganized serial killers. Unorganized serial killers mainly just use random weapons lying around at the crime scene to kill a victim. They also typically do not try to hide their crime. Unorganized serial killers sometimes come off to others as learners or unemployed with little to no friends. They are very careful on how they commit their crimes and have a lower IQ most of the time. Low levels of serotonin in the brain, which can increase violent or impulsive behavior and feelings, is another common trait serial killers share. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter that evens out your mood. Also, many serial killers have dealt with exposure to violent pictures, videos, or video games, which can increase violent behavior. According to Dr. Richard Davidson, brain scans from convicted murderers show that there is a lack in the brain in the areas that control emotions or feelings of fear. Serial killers often have a fascination with or receive satisfaction from murder or death. Key factors in serial killers can be sadism or psychopathy. Sadism is a tendency to gain pleasure by inflicting pain, suffering, or humiliation on others. Psychopathy is a mental illness in which sufferers tend to be egocentric and antisocial. Many serial killers were abused or neglected as a child. Studies show that 36% of serial killers experience physical abuse, 26% experience sexual abuse, and 50% experience psychological abuse. Abuse can lead victims to create often irrational fantasy worlds in their minds. This disconnection from reality can lead to psychological issues. There are four motivations for killing: visionary, mission-oriented, hedonistic, and power and control seekers. Visionary serial killers suffer from mental illnesses and have lost touch with reality. They may suffer from delusions and hallucinations. Some visionary serial killers have reported hearing voices in their head and instructed them to commit the murders. Mission-oriented serial killers target certain people who to them seem unreasonable. They feel like it's their job to kill. Many times the people they kill are usually different race or religion. Mission-oriented serial killers also target those who live different lifestyles than they do. Hedonistic serial killers seek thrill from killing. They also gain pleasure from murdering people. Power and control seekers like the feeling of dominance over people, so it gives them the urge to kill. Two infamous serial killers you have probably heard of are Ted Bundy and John Wayne Gacy. Bundy was born on November 24, 1946. He confessed to 28 murders, but some believe he may have over 100 victims. Bundy was bullied as a child because of his shyness, but grew up to have a successful career due to his intelligence. Bundy was a good-looking man, so he never really appeared a threat at first. He only had a few minor traffic violations on his criminal record, but tortured and killed women he met sexually. After a court trial, he was sentenced to death in 1989 for the murder of two college girls. The next year, he was sentenced to death again, but this time for the rape and murder of a 12-year-old girl. He eventually confessed his murders and was executed by the state of Florida in 1989. John Wayne Gacy was born on March 17, 1942 in Chicago, Illinois. Gacy murdered 33 boys and young adults in the 1970s. Gacy was born into a hardworking family who had little money, although he had a pretty normal childhood. Later in life, he sexually assaulted a teenage boy in the 1960s. In 1968, he was imprisoned in the Iowa State Men's Reformatory because of the crime he committed earlier in life. He was released in 1970 but remained on parole. During this time, he was arrested again for assault, but the charges were eventually dropped. After this, Gacy became successful in life and bought a house in a suburban area in Chicago. He was very social and often dressed up as a clown for the charity events and children's parties that he went to. In 1978, Robert Peace went missing. Police discovered Gacy was the last person to have seen or talked to him. Police were able to get a search warrant for Gacy's house and found the bodies of 29 young men both near and in his house. 4 bodies were then found in the neighboring Plains River. At Gacy's trial, he pleaded innocent. Psychologists later diagnosed him as a schizophrenic, a mental illness that causes people to react abnormally to reality. A jury found him guilty of 33 murders, and he was executed by lethal injection in 1994. It's hard to understand how and why people commit such horrific crimes. Through my research, I was able to gain some insight into the minds of these criminals. Hopefully, all of you who are intrigued by true crime have also learned why some people commit these crimes. Thank you. Please welcome Kelsey Sneed, who is speaking on Gabby Barber.
Have you ever watched the show Cheer on Netflix? If you have, then you must know one of its main stars, Gabby Butler. Butler is a well-known cheerleader who made a name for himself on the cheer mat and in the small screen. As a star of cheer, she has impacted many people both on and off the mat, including me. As a person, she has taught me ways to handle the stress of cheer and how to be a more positive person. Not only has Butler influenced me, but she has influenced girls all over the world by sharing her experiences in the cheer world, and how those experiences have taught her how to handle stress and develop body positivity. Cheer is a television show based on Navarro College's shooting. Gabby was on the popular show for 2 seasons, appearing in 13 episodes total. Some would even say she was one of the best on the team. Although she was on the team for 4 years, the show was only filmed over 2 of those seasons. Even though Butler was on and off the team, she made a huge impact. Butler won 2 national cheer championships with the team. At one of the national championships, her team won grand champion of the entire event. Being on cheer not only gave Gabby cheer life the spotlight, but it has also helped open the door to acting roles. Her fame spread all over the world. On the team, she connected with her teammates and formed friendships that felt like family. Being a part of a team that is like a family makes members feel like they always have someone looking out for you and being there for you. The biggest thing she has learned from being on the team is that you can't be too hard on yourself. Gabby has been doing cheer since she was 8 years old and still has not ever taken a break. This year, at age 25, she's decided she wanted to try something new. She's just recently signed a contract to WWE. This summer, at an event called SummerSlam, she connected with a woman named Stephanie McMahon, and she inspired Butler to sign with WWE. Butler stated in People magazine that the way she carries herself is very impressive, and the conversation we had was so nice. Butler was very surprised how similar the 2 sports are. She said the way they perform and the competitive atmosphere is so similar. Butler's specific role on the team is that of flyer. Being a flyer means you're typically on top of stats. Because of this, many flyers experience the stress of maintaining a certain weight. This can lead many to develop eating disorders and issues with body image. Butler is very concerned when she hears of other girls in the cheer world who are facing issues with food and weight. Butler stated in Muscle and Fitness magazine, "It is very common in the cheer world for girls not to eat as much. It's very sad," she says. They will not feed their bodies in the way that they should because they are afraid of being too big to get in the air or won't be lifted or become a toddler. I personally feel like I'm strong, confident, and feel very powerful with my body. To me, if you have enough strength, then it doesn't really matter about being super tired. Another area in her life that Butler maintains a healthy balance in is social media. As most of us know, social media can be a breeding ground for hateful comments. Butler has learned to let hateful comments go because typically the person behind the comment is unhappy in their own life. Butler is able to stay on the right track when she's going through things. She learned to turn on an imaginary switch that makes her leave all her problems associated with cheer on the mat. Gabby Butler has personally impacted me. The first way is helping me through my mental block when telling. Ever since I broke my arm being a back walker, I have been scared that it would happen again. Seeing how Butler has grown in her tumbling skills made me realize if I didn't get over my mental blocks, I could never get to that level. I've always dreamed of doing the amazing flip she can do, and if I let my head get to me, I could never do that. The second way she has helped me is seeing her positivity on the show Cheer. Cheer is one of my favorite shows ever, and Gabby Butler is my mainstay. When they had really hard practices, Butler always kept her head up and didn't let negativity get to her. She would always have a smile on her face and want to try again. She leaves her worries on the mat, and I have learned to do so as well. When Butler tumbles, she lets everything out, and so do I. Gabby Butler has influenced so many people's lives in so many different ways. Her impact will never be forgotten. It is so fascinating to learn about her. Although she has a lot of stress, she handles it very well. She has had such a huge impact on my life, and she lets me to learn to be more positive. My favorite show is Cheer, and I love watching her positivity and amazing skills. Thank you. Please welcome Luke Clemens, who is speaking on the Boston Celtics.
Some said that basketball is only a sport, but it's actually something more. The stories about the great teams and rivalries it inspired, the players, and its history. Today, I'll be sharing about Larry Bird, the 1985-1986 Celtics, and their passionate fans. The Celtics are one of the greatest teams in the history of basketball, and it really shows how great this sport is. Larry Bird was one of the greatest small forwards to ever be. Larry Bird was born December 7th, 1956, in West Braden Springs, Indiana. He attended Spring Valley High School and graduated in 1974, just about 4 years before he was drafted into the National Basketball Association, or the NBA. At Spring Valley High School, Larry Bird averaged an outstanding 31 points per game, 21 rebounds per game, and 4 assists per game during his senior year. He then attended Indiana State College, where his legendary rivalry with Magic Johnson would start. This intense rivalry would last between them throughout both of their professional NBA careers. Speaking of the NBA, Larry Bird was drafted in 1978, but didn't have his debut until 1979. Larry Bird was known for his trash talk. He would tell the defender the moves he was going to do, and the defender would still get beat by it. Any player that went against him would get rattled by his mental game. This 6'9" playmaker's passing ability was like art in motion, and to ride with all of these skills, is one of the best shooters of all time. With his artistic skills, he won 3 NBA championships, and he also won 2 Finals Most Valuable Players, or the Finals MVP. On top of all these crazy feats, Bird was also awarded the NBA MVP 3 times throughout his career. And don't forget about the Rookie of the Year, his outstanding performances. The 1985-1986 season was one of the best in franchise history. With a starting 5 that could tear other teams apart, it seems that they couldn't lose. Their starting 5, Danny Ainge, Dennis Johnson, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Robert Parrish, was one of the best ever. This era of the Celtics was also known for having a trio called the Big Three. The Big Three were Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Robert Parrish. These 3 dominated the NBA and led their team to a 67-15 record. Kevin McHale was a center/power forward that had 26.1 points per game, 9.9 rebounds per game, and 2.2 assists per game. Robert Parrish, or the center, had 17.5 points per game, 10.6 rebounds per game, and 2.2 assists per game. This team was so good that they're argued to be one of the best teams of all time. Only a few teams were even argued to have this kind of status. Some of these other teams are the 1986, 1987 Los Angeles Lakers, the 1995-1996 Chicago Bulls, and the 2016-2017 Golden State Warriors. To add to all of this, in the 1985 season, the Celtics had a 41 home record playing in the legendary Boston Garden. The Celtics averaged 114 points per game, which no other team could beat. With 5 Hall of Famers on this team alone, it seems that they couldn't lose. But one team gave the super team trouble, the Los Angeles Lakers. These 2 teams have always been heavy rivals throughout the NBA's history. These 2 franchises have also had some of the best players of all time, so it's hard to argue which team's better. This season, the Celtics will walk away with the championship. They beat the Houston Rockets in 4 games, completely destroyed. The Lakers would be knocked out in the semifinals of the playoffs, so they wouldn't be able to play the Celtics. This adds to their now current total of 16 championship wins, which is the most in the NBA history. Casey Jones would lead this team to an outstanding season. Being a fan of any Boston team is an experience. The atmosphere, the arenas, and the other fans are something truly special. All of Boston's teams include the Boston Red Sox, the Boston Celtics, and the Boston Bruins. But most of these fans also go for the New England Patriots, which is a football team. Boston fans are mostly hated for their passion. They'll boo and call your team trash, and they're super competitive, and so are all Boston fans. Some fans are even so passionate they'll get buried with some of their team's memorabilia. Just like my great uncle. He got buried with his Larry Bird warm-up jacket out of straight passion. My grandpa will sometimes get up and yell at the TV when something good happens, and my mom has always been super competitive. She'll turn any little game into a sport. You can also ask any Boston fan a fact about their favorite team, although they will know exactly what you're talking about. Boston fans will do crazy things like paint all over themselves before football games just to watch the Patriots lose. The Celtics have left a great legacy for basketball in Boston. They changed the way the game is played. Like Larry Bird is used with the three-point shot and his over-the-back pass, which he used countless times. He also had his own shoe line, which was made by Converse that he wore for every game. Being a Boston fan takes a lot of hard work and passion, but I don't think they mind. In conclusion, Larry Bird, the Celtics, and their fans have had all important impacts on sports. From the playmaking of Larry Bird, some of the all-time greats, to the crazy Boston fans. The Celtics will be remembered for their all-time greatness, and so will Larry Bird. And don't forget about the Boston fans, but I don't think they'll let us. Thank you. Please welcome Reed Adams, who is speaking on Guy Fieri.
I'm just a dude. It's how Food Network star Guy Fieri describes himself. Since 2006, Fieri has been one of Food Network's most popular stars. His bold personality and unique style brings excitement to his shows, unlike other cooking shows where people just cook and eat food. Even with the fame he has earned, Fieri hasn't changed who he is. Fieri is very important to Food Network, and his show is helpful to its popularity. Guy Ramsey Fieri was born January 22nd, 1968 in Columbus, Ohio. He moved to Ferndale, California when he was very young. He changed his last name to Fieri when he married his wife Lori in 1995. Fieri is his Italian grandfather's surname. Fieri did this as a sign of respect to his grandfather to show his deep love for his family. Fieri began his involvement in the food industry when he was only 10 years old. He and his father built a pretzel cart called the Amazing Pretzel Cart. He worked very hard washing dishes, selling pretzels, and whatever else it took to make money. According to Food Network, he sold pretzels for 6 years until he earned enough money to attend cooking school in Chantilly, France. While in France, he grew to appreciate international cuisine and realized how different foreign food is from how it is cooked and served upon the United States. Upon completion of his studies, he returned to the United States and graduated from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas with a degree in hospitality management. After college, Fieri dove headfirst into the restaurant business. In 1996, he and his partner, Steve Gruber, opened Johnny Garlic's, a California pasta grill in Santa Rosa, California. The second location of Johnny Garlic's opened in Windsor, California in 1999. 2 more locations later opened in California. In 2006, Guy Fieri appeared on season 2 of Food Network Star. He won the competition and was awarded his own TV cooking show. They saw potential in his fun lifestyle, and they also like his hair, for which he is famous today. Guy Fieri's style is considered iconic to some. Even if you're not sure who he is or what he does, most people recognize him as the guy with the spiky blonde hair. The first episode of Guy's Big Bite aired on June 25th, 2006. According to Food Network, people really loved his energetic and funny personality. On the show, he would cook different recipes in a big room. As the show went on, set became more reflective of his personality. Things like pinball machines, pool tables, and even a drum set were seen in the background. He would cook the recipe while simultaneously having fun and making jokes. The last episode of Guys We Bite aired on November 16, 2016. Along with Guys We Bite, Pierre has appeared on many cooking shows. He has starred in Tournament of Champions, Guys Grocery Games, and by far his most popular, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. On Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, he travels all across the country and stops at lesser-known restaurants and food-related locations. He goes in just like any other guest, and most of the time the chefs or owners give him access to the kitchens to see how everything is cooked. Chefs will create a dish for him, then he eats it on camera and rates it. Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives brings notoriety to small restaurants all over the country. Having Fieri visit your restaurant is an honor. It typically boosts business. In an interview with Food Network, Fieri states that he doesn't always love the food he eats on camera, but he doesn't show it. There have already been 36 seasons of the show, and it's still going, and it is by far the most popular and significant show in his career. Guy Fieri's food endeavors include much more than just his Food Network shows. He owns 17 popular restaurants all across the country. The restaurants range from Guy Fieri's trash can nachos to Chicken Guy, and even to Guy Fieri's Tequila Cocina. The restaurants serve a wide variety of cuisines. He has also released best-selling cookbooks, including one titled Guy Fieri Family Food. He runs a Flavortown food line that includes varieties of frozen meals. His barbecue sauces and sauces are available worldwide. The Flavortown food line also provides many foods like pre-marinated steak, pork, and 5 varieties of sausages and appetizers from hush puppies to grocery. In conclusion, Guy Fieri has claimed a spot as one of the most popular celebrity chefs in America. People are drawn to his lively personality and delicious recipes. Through television, restaurants, cookbooks, and his own food line, Fieri has reached the top of his field, all while remaining the same person he was before the failure. Thank you.
That concludes speeches for today. Our parents, y'all are welcome to come to the hub and take a picture. Everyone else. See you tomorrow for the last day.
You'll take a picture with that?